these fragrances and really providing for that. I guess if you look at the pyramid of people throughout the world and in income, at the bottom are all the masses, and that's where the people don't have the money and they don't have access to the name brands. So we've lived in an industry that for the past years has catered to the bottom half, and it is it's good because it gives. You saw the price. You saw the items we have and the quality and the price points. They're almost unbelievable. So, and I've been in this industry for a while, continuously going to those markets of Latin America and different California places and stuff, and selling a lot of volume, a lot of containers coming and going. But in the end, you don't make a lot of money. I mean, if you look at pound per pound, the effort and the energy, you know what I mean? And we're going to continue to grow in that industry. But when we launched this John Paul DuPont line, it was again going back with do we go back to the same niche here, you know? And then we're saying, wait a minute, this item is far and above greater than all the rest, you know? It has the intrinsic value that you could put next to any of the department store lines and say, this is worth, $60, $70, $80. We even have some of the perfumers that we sell, and they sell it at prices that are far above 50. So the idea was, okay, here we go. We got another line. Are we going to go back and go through the same network? Are we going to have the chances to build this? And then we said, so it kind of started with that thinking. So then I said, well, then we're not going to, we have a website that's Arion, which basically shows all of our products. And we said, look, let's keep options open. Let's not even put it on that same website. Let's totally make it separate because we don't want people to go and say, okay, it's another item in the line, and if Lamise is $375, then it's going up to 6 or 7 or 8, and sell at those prices to the same markets. So as we saw the opportunities, we said, this thing has a life that it can take on its own, and it can be sold to people that appreciate just the intrinsic value of these items. Because every time, I mean, you pay for Chanel, you pay for Agua de Gio, you pay for you pay for the demo girls, you pay for the advertising, you pay. I mean, the basic costs of the goods are not significantly different than ours. So the point is that that's why. So the idea now, of course, meeting, the boss and King James here. They actually took the idea and then they started rolling it out and saying, but we can do something here. This has opportunities and possibilities. Going back to the people that manufacture these goods back in Dubai and in India, the principals of the company, they have been looking too for ways because again, you saw a little bit. I think Xavier shared with you some of the company capabilities. But they've been doing the same thing worldwide for years. Going after these markets and just tonnage and tonnage and tonnage. And selling millions and millions of bottles. So the idea we've been discussing, how do we get into another venue that can create some revenue without all of this constant tonnage and volume? So they got excited about the idea, and then they said, well, okay, not only then if we can get this, if this thing works or when it works, as it starts to execute, then we can create other items that are going to be equally of value in cosmetics, in skin treatments, because, again, they do things for other parts of the world. In fact, even making a private label for some of the Lancomes and stuff. We make their product, right? We sell it to them for pennies, and they go out and sell it for... But we have the capabilities of then adding these kind of items into the network, cosmetic kits that have very high value. So it opened up the idea, like, listen, this is just opening the door to these other things. So that's today. I mean, the present and what's happened. Okay, and if you just go back again and just spending many years in this industry, in this business. I mean, it started with Walgreens in 1968, or something in the department. So I've been involved in fragrances from the low end to the middle end to the high end and back to the low end. So I've seen every facet of this industry for a lot of years. And I can tell you what's happening now. And again, this is all almost timing is important, is that the branded goods, which you used to be able to get in the gray market, and you could go into the discount stores, and you could see them in Steinmarts and flea markets and so forth, have been trying to figure ways for as long as I've been in the business to keep these goods out of those markets. Because people go in there, and if you're a Chanel user, if you use one of the expensive items, and you see it in one of the discount stores, it doesn't feel like, what's the deal? And so they've been trying to figure out ways for years to get these goods out of the gray market. They've tried legislation. They've tried all these different ways. Well, the crazy thing is the one way they're doing now, which is the most effective ever, is they're raising their prices to where it's unreachable for everybody at those lower levels. Because they say at the top, the rich always have money. Mm-hmm. I want to spend $200 on a fragrance, I can do it. So now we have the expensive stuff going higher, right? There's nothing of any comparable value in the middle. So these are now all the dynamics, I guess. And this was just kind of like, I came from a funeral. I wasn't thinking all this, but it seemed to be exactly where we're at today. I think it sums it up.